Hey everybody, this is Dark Side Elite here, and this is one of my first only videos. Myself and Hawk will do a our Monday podcast today. We're gonna see if we could try to get our videos to link up. Most likely, what I'm gonna have to do is we're gonna test some stuff out before we do it, so you can see myself and we see Hawk if he wants to do it. If he doesn't want to do it, that's perfectly fine. I'm want to do more videos so you guys can see me. I have not yet moved things over yet. I've been very, very busy. I got a lot of stuff I got to do for my apartment, and this is one of my vacations. I'm supposed to be pretty much relaxing, but a lot of stuff has been going on. Nothing too drastic, so it's been good. The reason why I'm making this video is I'm very happy that I'm seeing our subscriber count is going up, and again, I'm gonna move the podcast over to another channel, so that's gonna be just the podcast itself, and this is gonna be more for my personal stuff and like what ifs and such like that, and then we're probably gonna do some stuff over the Dark Side Elite podcast of storylines and what ifs and such like that between me and Hawk, so we can be able to, you know, throw out some ideas and such like that, and maybe keep some stuff to ourselves. Hawk really wants to get himself into the Hollywood business. um I'm okay with that. I'd rather be the guy behind the shadows. I really don't want to be out there that much, just because of just the way Hollywood is and the way our society is. I kind of just want to be that lowbrow person. I kind of want to be like Zach. I kind of want to be. I want to be like Zach. That's exactly how I want to be. I want to be to myself. I just do what I have to do and move on. And everything about myself is between me and the people that I want to know. So that's how I want to. That's how I want to do myself when it comes to Hollyweird, and that's how I want to do things from this point forward. But anywho, this is going to be primarily about the DC Fandome. A lot of stuff I'm hearing. This is gonna. Hopefully, it's gonna be bananas. I did look at some of the Justice Con, and it was not that good. Um, Subjective reviews was completely correct. Those chicks were all over the place, and they were not good hosts. They were not good hosts. My biggest complaint is um, I think that this is going to be the biggest problem. This is the biggest problem, and it's not a problem that we as fans need to really get in their faces about.
Home services capsules available.
Sorry, that's my phone. I mean, that's my new watch. Um, but what I truly do believe is that I think that they need to get fans, truly get fans that want to see this new DCEU, that want to see the new Justice League cut, that wants to see more of the stuff that Zach was bringing to the table, a little bit more darker stories, a little bit more to the character motifs. Give us something a little bit new, something that's different from Marvel. And I think that that's how they should bring it to the table. They need to bring in hosts that complement that. I'm not saying that they have to full-heartedly agree. Bring in a person that full-heartedly agrees, and in wrestling terms, bring in a color commentator, someone that likes what DC is doing, but also does want to have in the stuff that we all grew up in and that nostalgia. So it brings a little bit of a discussion panel to certain things. Now, the reason why I say this is you can't have yes men. You cannot have yes men when it comes to these ideas and how they're formed. You got to have a person that has a subjective review to what's going on and says, hey, no, why can't we do it this way? And it brings really good levels of discussions, and you don't have it be these geeks just insulting each other and ramming each other. And also, I don't want people that are going to jump on there and they're just going to want to talk about geeky things all the time. No, they need to stay on point. And that's why I felt that the Nerd Queens, I think that's what they were called. I don't care. I don't watch them. That's what they did wrong. They geeked out when they had Deborah Snyder, Zack Snyder, they had Fabian Wagner, they had Ray Porter, they had Ray Fisher, they had Jay Oliva, they had all these people on their panels, and they didn't get down to the nitty gritty about a lot of things and like what's going to be going on. And they just sat there and was like playing all geeky because they got all these like what is the purpose to this? They already have a great fan base. This is just them to get more fan base. I'm not saying it's wrong, but what I'm saying is it's not the way you're supposed to do it. That's not true journalism, and it's not how you're supposed to talk to these people who basically have to deal with this stuff all the time. That's not how you're supposed to interact with them. Yes, you're supposed to have fun with them, but you're not supposed to basically just geek out with them. Some of them want to relax, yes, but they also know that that you're gonna say the first thing you're gonna ask them is like, hey, I'm gonna ask some questions, and if you feel like it's that the question is a little too much, you know what to do. Just say, hey, there's some things I can't talk about, but and I'll know. Drop that question. Let's move on to another question, and then throw in some geeky stuff to lighten up the mood and everything else. But this is supposed to be a panel for you to ask questions, so the fans can actually know what's coming in the future. They never did. They barely ever did that. And Subjective Reviews did a really good job of saying no. They basically just geeked out because they just used JusticeCon as a way to get more fans, to get more subscribers to their channel, so they could get more revenue. Nothing wrong with that, but that's not what the JusticeCon was meant to be. It was meant to be as WB was telling us, hey, you know what? We screwed up. The cut is coming, and we want you to have as much fun as possible. But they also ascertained that they're gonna have people are gonna ask questions, but they barely ask any questions. So they had a fluff piece of a situation, and that's what made it worse and worse and worse. Now, like I said in the last podcast with Hawk, I would ask the question about what did you have any other ideas of what you wanted to do, or did you feel that they're working with the corporate line because of the whole situation that was going on? Did you feel bad about that? Did you feel that you were reneging on the creativity that's meant for why you all came into this business? Zach came into this business to create, and Deborah worked with him to help him create his projects. Did you feel that you were betraying that because you were working with this corporate line? I'm not saying I'm not saying you were wrong in that. Myself, I do blame everybody. Everybody should have stood up and defended Zach. But I understand you have to play a corporate line. Everybody has to make their money. Everybody has to do their own thing. Zach did the right thing. He walked away from WB. He said, "Nope, I'm done." He walked away, left the lot, made his own stuff. That's great. That shows he gave the gigantic middle finger to WB, and that's great. He did. He did it to the old guard. Now there's a new guard in charge, and AT&T is now backing them, and they're backing a lot of the things that's going on. So it shows that Zach is starting to get a little bit more play. He's made them a lot of money, and he is the only director that has ever had so many different cuts of movies because WB keeps butchering them to death because again, they believe you're too stupid to actually understand how movies are done or how a story's supposed to be told. Zach can tell a damn good story. He tells it on an emotional level. He tells it on a philosophical level. He tells it on a psychological level, and he tells it on a social basis, a social basis story element, and visually. So he gives you a lot there. That's why his movies have a lot of tone, and they have a lot there for you to actually envelop. People are still trying to figure out, people are still trying to analyze Watchmen. People are still trying to analyze Batman v Superman. They're trying to analyze how he was able to tell these characters a certain way to make you go, wow, really? And not in a bad way, but more in a good way. And in some people, it is a bad way because they don't understand. Their minds are thinking this is a movie. It's a comic book movie. It is a popcorn film. No, It's not a popcorn film. It is not meant to be a popcorn film. These are meant to be the same thing when people sit down and read comic books. There's supposed to be a visual element. To me, this is how I see it. It's a visual element to how the outside world is, but it doesn't hammer you down with all the social antics that's going on. It gives you a broad spectrum of what's going on, so you can envelop it and go, oh, okay. And when you see it on the outside, you go, yeah, that's not right, or no, I believe in that. That's how it's supposed to be. It is almost in a way a child's tool of how children are supposed to understand and interact with the outside inferences, and how they understand with outside elements. And that's why children should not be treated as adults. They should be treated as people, but not as adults, because they don't have the one element that makes adults adults: wisdom. That's why when children become teenagers, they rebel, because they think that they know everything. They don't. That's why parents are supposed to guide them into that maturity, into their adulthood, and from that point forward, from when they hit the age of 20 or 25, from the age of 25 up to 40, my age, or even 50, they understand how the world works. They truly do. They understand almost every element of how the world works within their universe, their own personal universe. But by the time they get to the elderly age, they have a good understanding of how everything works, and that's why they can impart their wisdom onto the younger people, so they don't make those mistakes. And that's why comic books are used that way. And that's why when Hawk was talking about it, how Stan Lee, Chris Claremont, Jim Lee at one point, all the writers, Neil Gaiman, and so did Frank Miller. They all wrote these stories to give you a hard lesson on how the world really works. And when people sit there and talk about that comic books are made for kids, I go, really? So you're telling me Daredevil, written by Frank Miller, is written for kids? It's not. It's written for mature adult. It's written for mature teenagers. That's why they have ratings, and that's why Shazam is very particular how you got to write them. You got to write them so children can understand what Billy Batson's going through. You can't write Superman for little kids, because it won't matter. Because when you give him to a teenager, teenager's going to say, this is stupid. If you give it to a 16-year-old, he's going to say, this is stupid. If you give it to a 23-year-old, he's going to say, well, that's just Superman. And he's not going to be very happy about it. Most adults are not going to be very happy with Superman, because he's the same old generic Superman. That's why the New 52 Superman, in my personal opinion, did not go well with a lot of people, because he was too hard-edged for them. They think that he wasn't the Superman that we all know. Actually, he was. He was the Superman that died and said, nope, I'm not dying anymore. He knows he knows how the world really works. He still aspires for humanity to be better. But the thing is, he's not going to be a pushover. And that's what people realize. He was a pushover. Superman is a gigantic pushover. Well, he's supposed to be a blue Boy Scout. Yeah, but he's a pushover. You have a powerful God that's a pushover. Now, people say, well, why did he just kill Lex? Or why did Batman just kill the Joker? Or why didn't Wonder Woman did this? Why didn't these superheroes just kill the enemies? That's the point of it. That is the full point of why Superman is Superman. Superman can kill any person he wants. He chooses not to, because he wants it to aspire to be better than what they are. Batman believes in redemption. He believes in what the police system. He believes in the system of mental health. He believes in all of that stuff. If he didn't, he would have killed all of them. He would have killed every single one of his villains. He wouldn't have cared. He wouldn't have cared. Get that? I mean, I want people to get that through their freaking skulls. If Batman did not believe in redemption, he would have killed all of his villains. The only reason why he does not truly kill the Joker is because he knows deep down the Joker would win. The Joker would win. That's what the Joker wants. Joker wants Batman to kill him, because he believes Batman is as messed up as all of us. He's more than messed up. He's in complete deniability. We all acknowledge our faults. The only person that really doesn't is the Riddler and Penguin. Deep down, Harvey Dent knows that he has DID, and he knows that the flipping of that coin is the wrong thing to do, but he just doesn't care. The Penguin has oh my God, he has what they call uh Napoleon Bonaparte. He has what Napoleon Bonaparte. He feels that he's the biggest man in the room, even though he's the smallest person. He believes that he should own everything, when that's not true. The Joker, he believes in chaos, anarchy, and mayhem. He has no scruples about killing people, but he doesn't just go out and kill everybody. Why? Because it's not part of the gag. His whole demeanor is all around Batman. That's why psychology is all prominent in Batman's stories, because you have to understand the understanding of the mind to go through Batman comics. That's why Batman comics are awesome, especially when you're written darker and you get people like Tom King. Tom King is an ex-CIA analyst. The dude knows. He understands. He understands a lot. Sorry, I'm still messing around with my watch. So, the whole thing is, everyone's got to relax when it comes down to these heroes. Just a good amount, because DC has to figure out that flow, and I think that they have, but I think that right now everyone's trying to get on the Snyder universe, and I'm going, no. Let's not jump on that bandwagon yet. Let's wait until this cut comes out. And when it does, they can ascertain just by how many views, how many reviews, and how many reviews that they get out there of how great it is, and people just analyzing it, trying to not to pick it bad, but pick it good, to say, hey, I like this, but I didn't really like this. I like this, but I didn't really like this. And if they do that correctly, and they look at the analytics, and they go, hey, you know what? This universe can work very well if we kind of change it just a little bit. And they can keep, and I guarantee you, Jason will stay until he's old and gray. Gal will do the same freaking thing. Henry will stay until he's old and gray. He could be the pass-on Superman. He could be that pass-on Superman that we would have loved to see Christopher Reeve do. But we have oh man, I forgot my man from who did Superman Returns. He is Christopher Reeve's pass on, and he could pass on that to Henry Cavill. But Henry Cavill could be our movie Superman that can move on and push it forward to another Superman. If Ben comes back, I will love if Ben comes back. If Ben comes back, and the reason why I say if and not when, the only reason I say if and not when is because we don't know where his mental state is. If he's in a really good place, I truly do believe that he will come back. But right now, our concentration should be on the Snyder cut and getting this, and not getting it out. It's going to come out, but let's see what this cut represents, because Zack is adding in new scenes. He's going to add in the stuff that he felt that he wanted to add, and he's going to add in, and he's going to they're going to rev everything up, and it's going to extension. I think this is going to be a miniseries. I think this is going to be a 2-part miniseries, and we're going to get that. We're going to get the 2-part Justice League because of this, and that's great. That's great. I want that. I want it. But we also gotta temper our expressions and our expectations, because Zack may change things that we thought that were gonna be in the movie. He might go, this won't coincide, or something might have to move over to another angle. He might do stuff like that. Now, if we see Ben coming back, and we're hearing that Ben is going to come back and for the reshoots and stuff like that, then I have a feeling that they're going to sit down with Ben and they're going to talk to Ben. And I think that if they're going to talk to Ben, and if Ben's back on board, Joe Manganiello's going to come back. That's going to be plain of it, because his Deathstroke's in the freaking movie. So I think that if Ben's going to come back, we're going to have Joe Manganiello's going to come back. And Joe's going to go back to the gym and he's going to start lifting weights. So I think Ben is going to do the same thing. They're going to start lifting. And I have a feeling that, I'm not saying they're going to make the movie. What I'm saying is they're going to add in those scenes that we were supposed to get. That's what I'm thinking. So let's get into that. So now, the fandom, from what I'm hearing, is it's gonna be a huge panels. They're probably gonna have Zach there and Deborah and everybody else. Now I'm very happy with that, and I'm hoping that they get better hosts, and the hosts actually ask freaking questions. I don't want them to just I personally don't want want them to just geek out with them. Not 100%, but like maybe like 30-40%. Just geek out with them a little bit. Just make them feel comfortable so they can be able to answer questions. But let's get down to these questions, because I would like to know, what type of Darkseid are we gonna get? Is this guy going to be omnipotently powerful? Is he stupid powerful? And I asked the question in the podcast. If he had the freaking the anti-life equation, why the hell he had a hard time defeating these people? If the Apocalyptians had the power of the anti-life equation, what the heck did they have a hard time defeating defeating the Earth? They could have, with that power. Here's the thing, that the anti-life equation can even subjugate the gods. It can. It has the power over all life. Anything has life in it, it can, like that. It takes away free will. Gods have free will. So what the heck is going on here? So that's the only thing I'm kind of going a little bit with how Zach did this. But again, we're only getting like maybe 10% of the story. We don't know how Zach unfolded this story. We don't know how the gods were able to actually, and the rest of man and the Atlanteans and the Amazonians, how they all merged together to take down this gigantic force, and also how they're able to take down Darkseid, takes out Euxis with the anti-life equation. Because if he did, then how the hell did they were to do? How were they able to do it? And that's the thing. I want to know how they're able to do it. It's gonna matter, and I'm keeping my expectations low, because it's been multiple forms. The anti-life equation, it was a ball of energy that had like mathematical equations built into it. Other things was, it was just a power, like he just got it. That's it. It had no form. Other things was, it was just something you saw off screen. Like they never truly gave it form. The only time we ever had it form was when he held it in his hand and you saw a ball of light and a whole bunch of mathematical equations forming all around it. That was it. That's the only time you ever saw it. And then on top of it, you saw how, if you want to go back, during Final Crisis, sorry about that. In Final Crisis, when he grabbed up Pied Piper, because he figured out that Pied Piper's power, he had the power to hypnotize and subjugate any person that listens to his music. Any person. Doesn't matter who they are. He can subjugate Superman if he wanted to. He can subjugate Batman if he wanted to. He can, as long as his music can hit their notes, they're subjugated. And he's like, that's it. That's the final piece. That's the final piece he needed. And he grabbed up freaking Pied Piper and made him play music. Made him play the music. And when he found out the music, it was a mathematical equation, because that's what music is. It's a mathematical equation. So he figured out it was a mathematical equation that was able for him to figure out to get the anti-life equation. So I want to see how they do that. And that was some of the questions I would have loved to ask to Zach. Like, so for the anti-life equation, is it from, if you can give us a hint, that'd be great. Just give us a hint. Is the anti-life equation a power? Is it something metaphysical, or is it something physical? Because that'll be the only way for us to go, oh, then we can easily start to dissect a little bit more of the movie. But no one asked that. No one asked about the anti-life equation, because the people that are supposed to be these geeks or quote unquote nerds, they don't know nothing about comic books. They don't. They never asked that question. That's the biggest question, because that's what the anti-life equation is. It subjugates you. You lose your will. You lose all will and follow whoever gives the orders, and that's why Darkseid wants it. It's the same thing for freaking the Infinity Gems. We knew nothing about the Infinity Gems. are we don't know anything about them. They just said, oh, they're just cosmic gems. That's all they told in Marvel. No, they're aspects of the universe. They're aspects of their universe. That's why you cannot destroy them. You cannot destroy an Infinity Gem. I think they tried in the comics. I have to kind of bounce that off of Hawk. Hawk knows a lot more about Marvel than I do, and I know a lot more about DC than he does. But the one thing that I really wanted to know is that the analytic equation is one. Is Euxis more powerful than he was 5,000 years ago? Like, were they able to really physically hurt him, or did he just go, okay, I'm losing, I gotta go? And if that's the case, that means that he could have wiped them all out. I just want to know how powerful Euxis / Darkseid is. That's all I want to know, and that would be phenomenal for us to know. I don't want to see him. We already had that little image, so people try to make it more 4K HD. They give it color and everything. I'm like, why do you want to spoil that? Why? That's a massive spoiler. I don't want to know. I saw a blur vision. Okay, he's about this tall. He has this build. Okay, cool, great. I don't want to know anything else about him. I want to see him in the movie. That's what me. Darkseid is my favorite DC villain. My favorite, because his ideology, in all retrospect, is exactly what's going on right now. All these people have massive free wills, but they're doing everything they can to consolidate power. They're doing everything they can to subjugate anybody, and they're doing everything they can to destroy the idealism that their country or the people that they're talking about are founded on. Darkseid, the way he's built is perfect for right now. It's perfect. He's the type of villain that will watch us humanity just do what it sells and just goes, that's it. He just waits. Until humanity is so much in the crapper that he goes, you will follow me, and I will lead you to bliss. He doesn't have to worry about the analytic equation. We'll be like, you're a god. You can do all this stuff. That's it. He'll take over the earth. Like that. No Superman. No need for a Superman. He could do it. It is so laughable that people don't understand how Darkseid is. They think that, oh, he's this guy that just goes after the analytic equation. No. He could subjugate without the analytic equation if he feels like it. That's his thing. And also, he lets other people... One thing about Hawk, what he said was, it's true. There's one thing that's true. There's a huge difference between Thanos and Darkseid. Thanos, he lets other people do something, but he goes out there and does it himself. He does what's the left hand's doing, doesn't see what the right hand's doing. And he's the right hand. He lets his other guys do all this stuff in front of him, and he comes around and he goes whoop right in front of you and does something in the back. That's what Thanos does. And he gets his hands dirty. Darkseid doesn't do that because A, he's old. 2, he has the power of the Omega effect. He doesn't care. And 3, he's patient. He wants to see how everything unfolds first before he does anything. He's a master strategist and a master planner and a master manipulator. That's the reason why I love his character. He's much better than Thanos because when push comes to shove, he's not weak. He will throw complete fists with Superman. He doesn't want to, but he will. And there's numerous times he's beaten the living daylights out of Superman because Superman always holds back. If Superman does not hold back, Darkseid will have a problem. He'll have a major problem. But we've gotten a Darkseid not in the movies, but in the animation that was dirt weak. And in the early 52s, he was majorly weak because he was able to get completely overwhelmed by the Justice League, which that should never have happened. He should have knocked every one of them away like they're flies. The only person that should give him a problem was Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. The Flash, nope, he'd get rid of him. Batman would run. He would run. He'd be like, nope, can't take this guy. Cyborg, he'll get turned into he'll get turned inside out. Sorry, he's powerful, but he's not very strong. Not as comparable to the other two. And Wonder Woman's a complete fighter. And Darkseid is a fighter. He's a massive fighter. He's been around a lot longer than Wonder Woman. So that's people has a misconception. Darkseid is a fighter. One, and two, he trained Granny Goodness. He trained her. She was the greatest of all of his Furies. That's why he made her into what she is. She was better than Wonder Woman at one point. She's just old. Okay? And Granny trained the Furies. She trained all the Furies. They're nowhere near her. Nowhere near her. Big Barda is the only one that can possibly be able to defeat Granny Goodness. And Wonder Woman can turn Big Barda inside out. That tells you something. Okay? Wonder Woman is pretty powerful. She's skilled. But the thing is that Granny has a lot of skill and technique, but she's just old. So like, oh, she's rotund. That doesn't mean jack squat. That means nothing. That means she knows how to use her weight. So what? Okay? There's a lot of them. There's a lot. I mean, there's so much there. Darkseid is a fighter. Okay? He can turn Wonder Woman inside out. End of story. Turn her inside out. There's nothing Wonder Woman can do against him. He will backslap her into next week. By the time she wakes up, she'll think she's back in the age of the gods again. That's how powerful he is. That's how powerful he's supposed to be. Aquaman is powerful. Yes, he is. He's more powerful than Wonder Woman. Stronger, more durable. He has almost as much experience. Hawk goes on the fact of, Aquaman has more. No, Wonder Woman has been trained since she was a little kid. Aquaman hasn't. Aquaman got a great amount of experience, yes. And he's been trained very, very well with that spear, yes. But he doesn't have nowhere near the levels of years of training that she has. Batman is the most trained person on the whole freaking league. The most trained. He was trained by some of the greatest hand-to-hand fighters in the world. In the world. Wonder Woman was trained by the Amazonians who have one type of style. That's why I said that, she could pick up any weapon and know how to use it. Only in the Greek world. She doesn't know how to use a katana. She'll use a katana as a regular sword. And destroy it. One swipe, ping, and it destroys her. She's like, what the hell is this toothpick? She'll laugh at it. She'll be like, this thing is a piece of crap. When a katana will slice right through almost any level of armor. It's that sharp. It's a folded blade that's been sharpened and refolded and sharpened and refolded and sharpened. So when it goes down to each family, it gets folded, refolded, and gets sharpened down. What? On top of how much? So that thing can cut hair. So that means if it cut hair and you get swiped with it, it'll go right through your freaking armor. She wouldn't know how to use a Viking battle axe. She'd be like, well, okay, it's cumbersome to her because the weight is on the tip when it should be balanced. That's how she knows how a weapon is going to be effective. Come on, there's a lot of things there that you got to really think about when it comes to worldly things. Yes, I mean you can suspend the disbelief, yes, but Wonder Woman should not be a master at a master of all types of weaponry. That's stupid. That's almost as stupid as Batman being a master of 126 forms of martial arts. No, he should be a master of 5. That should be more than enough. More than enough for him to be effective. He knows other styles, but he's not very effective on them because again, he's supposed to know ninjutsu, jujitsu, boxing, wrestling, and karate. That's it. He knows kung fu. He should know. He knows Denmark, which is the death touch. Like he can actually touch a person and they die. He knows that type of stuff. Okay, he knows it. He doesn't use it a lot. Okay, you got to realize that you got to kind of break it down. And I'm going off on a tangent. So I'm gonna try to make this relatively short. Okay, I'm at a little over 30 minutes. So I'm gonna make this relatively short. And like I said, I think that the DC Fandome, Fandome. The Fandome, I'm hoping that we get a better a better set of hosts. I hope they ask those questions, and I really, really hope they give us something that's gonna really chew us up. I'm hoping that they give us a really good trailer that shows us a little bit more of the Snyder Cut, and they also give us a lot of what their plans are for the HBO Max, because this is gonna be huge. And I do agree with Hawk about the fact that what are the plans for the streaming service? That's the big question they should ask. What is the plan for the streaming service? If you're gonna have this on HBO Max, shouldn't the people who have the streaming service should also get it for free too? Shouldn't they get it for free? Because then what's the purpose of the streaming service? The DC streaming service should be all DC content, but you're putting DC content on HBO Max. Now I know and I understand that you're trying to get out to that wider audience that can get the HBO Max, while the DC streaming service is still I think it's still locale in the United States. So, in my personal opinion, you should still have it on the streaming service. And in my personal opinion, they need to start really going faster on getting those comics. Any comics that's older than about a year old, it should be automatically on that streaming service. Like the whole Grayson arc where he went to Spiral, you don't have all the comics. There's still comics missing. But comics that are out for the past 6 months, I can understand, because there's a process to it, and they're still trying to get but I mean almost a year. They should have it all on there. Like there should be no way their comics should be back. I mean that. 2, all TV shows under the Warner Media, the Warner Brothers, should all be on the streaming service. So Lucifer, even though Lucifer bought the rights, DC should still have say over that. What I'm saying is they should have all of it. Even if it is on Netflix. Because that means that it's going to suck for anybody who's going to want it. So, like I said, there's a lot of stuff I really want them to talk about. I really hope that they explain the DC streaming service. Because if the streaming service is going to be just for comic books, I'm still going to keep it. I got HBO Max for free now. The reason why is because I upgraded my phone. So my phone stuff got upgraded, and I got HBO Max for free. So that's the reason why I got it for free. And I got to figure out what my bill is going to be. But that's all I got to say. Hopefully I get to a what if storyline. I'll try to have it out by Monday. I got to see what my schedule looks like next week. I got to get that schedule pretty soon. But there's a lot going on. And me and Hawk are exercising. So we got to see how that unfolds, and I'm gonna try to get as many views as I can. All right, so like, comment, share, subscribe down below, hit that bell, and let me know what you guys think of the video. This is just me by myself. Myself and Hawk will get our podcast out. We'll have it done today, but we'll have it out by Monday, because it's going part of our Monday stuff, and I'll do everything I can to get move everything over. I might not have it out this week. I thought I could, but I'm my brain's on other things right now. The new thing for 7 Deadly Sins is out, and there's other things I got to do in my apartment, and it's just gonna be it's a hassle. It's a hassle, but everything's good. I think I pay all my bills for the month, so whatever money I make right now is gravy. So we got to see how that goes, and I hope to talk to you guys later. You guys have a great one, and hopefully I'll see you guys maybe next week. I might get a video out tomorrow if I don't leave out tomorrow to go see a buddy of mine. I haven't seen him in like 2 months, so I'm gonna go see how he's doing and hang out with him. And I'll try to have a video out hopefully before I leave. I'm gonna try to get it done and have it ready for Sunday. So I don't know if I have to go back to work on Sunday. I'll let you guys know. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.